Okay, hi everybody. It's Bonkai 922. Um, Taizai. Taizai. By the way, you should prepare yourselves because after this Taizai review, I'm gonna do my Maggie review. Maggie review. I might go crazy. I might. What happened in Maggie was no joke, and I might start. Just going insane because that chapter totally just made me go like motherfucker, you know. But Taizai, Seven Deadly Sins, chapter 88. This world is hell. I believe it's called. This world is like hell, and pretty much we have we see this was a weird part of the chapter in the beginning. Always put me down. No Jericho, I just and then we see this person saying that they lost connection with Master Hellbram's link, and they basically saying the castle's falling apart, and you just see the demons, and this is like hell. And then we see Jericho and Diane. Jericho's trying to. She's still there. It's just like she's just, a demon now. And she's just totally in there, and she's basically saying, I'm going to be stronger than you. And Diane's saying she knows that she's a lot, but what do I do? And we go back to Bond. Now, here's what I have to say about Bond. I disagree with some people. I don't put him on the same level as someone else. No, I don't. And the reason I don't is because of what happened in like the beginning of this chapter and the ending of last week's chapter. How meliodas was saying, oh, if it was in your shoes, I'd probably do the same thing. Give or take. So, what ends on happening is, meliodas is saying, really, you seriously fine with this? Would I really joke about this? And they're basically talking, hurry up and just kill me. If you do, the girl you love will come back alive, and I'll probably do the same thing. And Bond's saying, I'll never forget you for the rest of my life, Captain. And that's when Meliodas out of nowhere headbutts him. He's like, why the fuck would you fight back after saying that? I never said I wasn't going to just let you kill me. You'd be doing the same if you were in my shoes, right? He's like, what? And then Meliodas is pretty much bringing up the fact that even if I were to die, I would fulfill something that was something on the table. Sorry about that. Basically saying I would fulfill the promise I made with you. Elizabeth thinks of nothing of sacrificing herself. Knowing that I just can't leave her. I can't die here. Pretty much. And saying, but I just can't say, well, okay, then I'll just back off then. Basically, Bond and Meliodas are coming to terms with that. And, this was kind of interesting how this was done, and saying that no matter what happens, you are my friend, I won't deny you what you're trying to do, but just as you have something you can't give up on, I can't give up. And Hawk still is trying to persuade Bond and saying, you just stop it already. Because here's the thing. How reliable, and this is, I won't go as far as to call Bond an Obido, but I will say this. How reliable, Bond, are you with the Goddess Clan? How reliable is that person from the horn of the Goddess Clan? Like, for all you know, that could be the Demon Clan. But I think the Goddesses Clan's point of view, which, you know, it's just silly, because I'm like, wait a minute. So you don't care about Hendrickson? I think I brought this up in the last review. Like, he's taking too much of what the Goddess Clan is saying. And basically Bond's response is like, but if what the Goddess said is true, Elaine can come back to life. And if not, you're going to lose your friend too. But Bond's response is basically saying, tell me what I should do. That's only good for eating leftovers. It's a basically state of, like, Bond's thinking to himself, if I kill Meliodas and she comes back to life, okay. But if it doesn't happen, I lose my friend, then what should I do? He doesn't know what to do. Pretty much. That's his way of thinking. And, you know, like, brings up the fact that even after Elaine died, they were what that brought him back together, you know, from his depression. I'm still alone forever. I'll never see her again, but in this world or the next. And then Bond's like saying, do you get it? And I don't get it. After all this is done, let's put an end to this, alright? But for now, as a fox and sin, perform your duty, Meliodas asks him. And this is an order from your captain. And he says, Roger. And then after that skirmish, we see monster, everyone this way, and then we go back to Hendrickson and Grimoire. Now, this part of the chapter had me like, okay, interesting. But I wondered, like, because I remember when they were in the room with the king and Merlin and everybody. I know they were taking the king, I think. Yeah, the king with King Arthur to Camelot. But I forgot what happened to the individual who showed up at the very end of this chapter. I remember he's supposedly going to bring him down into the dungeon. So I was like, and basically what happens is, you know, Hendrickson saying, drivers will be overjoyed, you're alive, you know. And he's saying, Grimoire's saying, stop right with that force, Hendrickson, I will stop your sinister ambition. And then he's like, were those your last words? And he brings up Wall, the barrier power that Grimoire has to Hendrickson. And then he's like, do you really think you could stop me? And then someone says, yes, you must be stopped as the holy knight of the kingdom and as a friend. And then we see Grimoire saying yes, and it's Dreyfus. So he says, let's go, son. He says, yes, father. And it says, in order to stop a sinister ambition, father and son can become comrades. And the next chapter called Devote Wish. So, thoughts overall on this chapter? This was a good chapter. Going to give it, I'm going to stick with a 4 out of 5 for this one. I think there's more credibility now that Dreyfus is there. Because if it was just Grimoire, I would have just said, yeah, he's going to get fucking fucked. And it was just Grimoire. He was going to get ripped. I'm sorry. No pun intended. But now that Dreyfus is there, they might have a shot. Now, as far as the whole thing with Bond and Meliodas is concerned, I think they're not going to fight. Kind of. They might still continue. But we'll see. But the thing with the Hendrickson thing in this development, I think what might happen is they'll put up a fight against Hendrickson. But at some point, you gotta wonder if they have what it takes to defeat him. You know? Because first, personally, I'm not calling Dreyfus fodder, not a stupid word to use, but even though Dreyfus is there, I still think they're still going to struggle against Hendrickson. It's still going to be more of the lines where they're not going to defeat him. They're just going to buy time. They'll buy enough time until somebody else can go over there and fight with them to stop Hendrickson. At least that's what it seems to me. Bond, and like I said, about Bond, I don't think he's... His reasons are notable. His reasons are understandable for what he's trying to do. But if anything, I would still say, yeah, you're listening to a voice coming out of a fucking Capricorn horn, and you don't know who that is. How do you know it's the Goddess Clan? That's my whole problem. My whole problem isn't that he's doing it for Elaine. No. My whole problem is he's listening to a voice coming out of a fucking horn. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? That's my problem with Bond. I'm sorry, but he just seems like he's way too trusting of this voice from this horn. But his reasoning, his answer to that explanation is, then what am I supposed to do? I think anyone in Bond's position, true shit, that is probably the most difficultest thing you could think of in a situation. The woman you love, your best friend, life. The woman you love, she could be brought back if you kill your best friend. And the chances are that the person who told you this is full of shit. It's a hefty risk. That's all you gotta say. It's a hefty risk to pay to go through that. And that's what I believe, anyway, to a certain extent. It's a hefty price to put on your shoulders to go through that. And Bond is basically saying, what am I supposed to do? No. So yeah, that's pretty much the story there. 4 out of 5. Hendrickson's not going to get defeated by them. By Dreyfus, even with Dreyfus there, I still think they're still outmatched with Hendrickson. Not to say Dreyfus, Dreyfus is pretty fucking powerful. He could probably delay him. Keep him busy for a while. But it's going to take a lot more to defeat Hendrickson. I mean, this guy survived attack from... Came back from an attack from Gilthunder. Come on. So, yeah. I'm BonKai922. I'll see you guys later. Like I said... Maggie. Recent chapter came out. Prepare to see me go apeshit. If I know how then things transpire. One after I read it. Look forward to it. I'll see you guys later.